Okay, so I am working on the SignatureSwap18, and as I'm crafting, you can see that my craft area gets smaller and smaller because I'm getting surrounded by supplies. So what I'm working on now is the pages to the signature, and I think we had agreed to 6 pages. The first one I did is actually the envelope one. I will give you the link down below, not to each individual video in the series, but to the playlist that they are all in. That way you can be following along that way. As I add videos, they'll be in there. So first thing I do is I go through all my papers that I've gotten from thrift stores and from other people and as gifts, and I look and see what will work. And I'm looking at this, and it happens to be 9 inches wide, but we want 6 inches tall. This is 7, so I'll shave off half an inch here and half an inch there, and that leaves it looking like this, which is still fine. And when you fold it in half, you won't be able to see the word notes, but still it's a cute little piece of paper. What I decided to do was to also take this spray, which is Heidi Swap Color Shine, and it's gold, and it's just a mist, and I'm going to kind of mist the paper on the front, let it dry, and mist the back. Okay, got a little more than a mist on there, as you can see. I think I was doing it, and I couldn't see if I was getting enough color. So let's fold that in half. Get my bone folder here, and I think I'll keep this pretty simple. I do want to make a little tag on it, and I can use a tab, sorry, a T-A-B tab. I could use a tab punch and make one, but I think what I'll do is I have all these hearts that are left over, because if I can show you the picture here, when I made these, it cut out the inside of that heart there, and I have all these left over, so I want to use them as well. So for the first one, I'm just going to put a little dab right kind of on the bottom. Yeah, once the glue gets going, right toward the bottom here. And I do want it to stick out from the project. I do like having some tabs and ephemera sticking out. And now for the back side, I'm going to glue the whole thing. That way it'll glue to the paper and it'll glue to the back of this heart here. So just line those up, press together. And then I have the tiny attacher from Tim Holtz handy. I did manage to get my supplies close by, and I just want to give that another extra nudge. So that is one sheet. I don't think I'm going to do anything else to that. I do want to have some of it simplified and not over embellished. Now, another thing I found when I was going through my stash was this, which is this mulberry paper. It's kind of like a handmade paper. It's pretty thin. And I think I can get 2, yeah, there's several here. I just now realized that. I think I can get 2 off of each one of these. So let me cut those in half. Yep, that worked really well because it was 12 inches long. So now if we fold that in half, that'll be pretty good to our size. And the edges are kind of messed up a little bit, but that's okay because it kind of adds to the junk journal look. I just want to size-wise see what this looks like, and I didn't line that up really well when I folded because this is curled under. I probably could press it a little bit. I might need to trim a little bit off, but other than that, it looks pretty good. So I like that. I like mulberry in the projects. It just adds a nice touch to it. I think with the tab idea, I'm going to use some of this, which is seam binding, and I'm just going to fold that over like this and glue it. Let me press this because so you can see how wrinkled that is. So I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac. I think I'll put this one toward the middle, but I'm also thinking that this mulberry paper is more not translucent. What's the word I'm looking for? It will let the glue seep through. Okay, so I want to pick this up and make sure it doesn't glue to the other side there. Okay. And I'm also going to do that. There we go. I still don't want that to touch because it still might get stuck to the other side. that's those two. Another thing that I really like on my junk journals is vellum. And I was fortunate enough to find this pack of vellum. I think it was at Tuesday Morning. And it looks like it used to be sold per sheet. It just said Distributor Color Bach LLC. So, okay, now this is an 8.5 by 11 sheet. So when I cut this in half, I'm going to have 8.5 by 5.5, not 6 by 9. So this will be a little smaller than my typical pages in the journal. Okay, so I'm going to fold that in half. I really love, usually I put solid vellum in here, but this is just so cute with the roses on there. Doesn't that look Valentine-y? So we have that and this and the one that I just glued. It's still a little damp. Normally this dries faster, but since it's so thin, it's taking a while. So it doesn't matter what order I put this in, but for now I just want to show you what this looks like. Definitely think I'm going to trim some of the mulberry off. It's sticking out too far. You can see how this now, it's smaller than the other page, but it just adds interest to the book. Okay, let's look at some other stuff. I have a big book of music, and I tore some sheets out of it. This is a half a sheet, so I really, really like that. And when I fold this over, here's what I decided I would do. I'm going to stamp an image on here and then watercolor it. So I went through my stamps and I got out this heart stamp. Okay, so this is it. And I'm going to use the Lawn Fundamentals Premium Black ink pad. This is an old stamp, large ruffled heart P2100 from Stampington and Company. I've had it for years. So let's do this. I have another video where I've done this, where I stamp on, I think, dictionary pages and then use watercolor. So I'm going to, again, make this little off-center because I want, you know, when it's bound here, you might not see part of the heart. So there's that. Very cute. I love it. I'm going to clean my stamp off. Okay, I'm going to use watercolored pencils. This is the Brunzil, and this is their 8635 color. And I'm not going to color the whole thing. I just want to add a hint of color to it. So I'm going to outline the inside of the heart and not worry about the ruffle. So I use the watercolor. I need to refill this. This is the water brush. It just has water and that's it. But when it hits the watercolor pencil, it activates that watercolor pigment there. I assume that's a pigment. Okay, all right. I just wanted to get that little bit colored, and I'm just going to swipe all over the inside to kind of even out the pink right there. And that's all I had to do, just wipe that off. So what a pop of color. And I'm going to separate this too, by the way, because this is a little damp. I want that to dry off well. And I'm thinking I might put another tab on this one as well. Same thing I did before. I'm going to put a little dab on the bottom here. Maybe about right there. And then glue the whole heart here. Another thing I think I'll do on this one, notice I'm doing everything on the front of the pages. I think I will add some more seam binding on this side. And I got several things out when I was getting my my project started. Yeah, my progress too. And I'm just going to add a strip of this right along there, right along the edge. Okay, let's see what we have now. This, that, the vellum. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of those, plus the envelope pocket. So that's 5. So I would need one more to make that 6. So one of the things I got from a thrift store when I was there was this. It says Nina Erasable Onion Skin. I like crinkly papers in my junk journals. So this fits the bill. It's very crinkly. Again, let me cut that in half. Okay, I changed my mind. Instead of cutting it in half and trying to get 2 small pages, I cut 9 inches in, and I'm going to fold this up like a pocket. So I need this to be at 6 inches. So let me get my scoreboard. Okay. I'm going to fold it in the direction that I have it scored, just because it's very light paper. Okay. Now I can fold it in half. And I think it's kind of a bland color. I think I would like to stamp on it and see how well that holds up for me. Like this one here. And this is also a stamping tin stamp. It just says if you would be loved, love and be lovable. It's just a lot of quotes, and I thought it would be really cute to put that here and here maybe. Okay, what did I do with this ink? Okay, it's a very large stamp. It's a lot easier to turn the stamp upside down and do this. Okay, move that pocket out of the way and just put that right there. And I'm not aiming for perfection on that. I just wanted to get a nice, good, kind of a faded almost look to it. And then clean that stamp off. Okay, I think I'm not going to do this one. Now, I want something on the pocket, and I'm thinking maybe red is the way to go. So I went in my stash, and I got this 3 heart set, and this also 1989 from the Dots Company. Can you believe it? So I have these. I've had these for ages. Marby Matchables ink pad, and this is the plum color. Again, had it forever. Now, you know what else? I think I'm going to sew these shut. I could glue them, but I think I'm going to sew them. But if you notice, once you fold something, it's not perfectly lined up. So if I open it flat and line it up, it won't let me fold it properly. So I'm going to fold it and kind of pinch that together and run it through the sewing machine. And here's that. I really do like that. I use the zigzag stitch. I'm going to leave the thread sticking out somewhat. I like using grid paper too, and this is an old USDA Forest Service computation sheet. And again, I think this is going to make a small page. Yeah, slightly smaller, but that's, again, okay. I like having the variety in there. Let's see what we can do for effect here. How about, I got this trim from Target I've been dying to use. Oh, that's so adorable. I know you can't see it very well, but that is very cute. I love that. It gives just a little bit of dimension because it's felt, but it's not obnoxious and sticking out too far. And you know what? I cleaned my stamp too soon. I think I want to put this right there as well, only right side up. Okay, let's re-ink this one. And maybe a pocket. Okay, I paused the video and I cut an envelope in half. It's another envelope that I got from the thrift store. I sealed it shut, cut it in half, and got a thumb notch in there. And I think this needs a little interest though. So I went and picked up, this is like a scatter of splatter and tiny little hearts. And I think this color would be great for that. But I'm wondering if I should cover the back up here. There we go. So now we have a pocket. Okay, let's put that together so far and see what we have. We've got, let me find the ones that I actually finished. Hold on. Okay, just now we've gotten these 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus the envelope. I thought I had 7, but if I did, it'll show up as I'm editing and everything. So again, I can put these in here in any order. No, this is not the one. I just folded it in half, but the other one I had the tab on it. Okay, got it. I've got papers stacked up everywhere. That, and this is the other one that I had. All of these together. So again, you know, no matter how I fix this together, she is free to change the order when she receives it. I like to try and vary up a little bit between the quality of the paper as to whether it's like this vellum. The vellum is cute outside of this. Okay, and then of course the cover, which I had already made previously. Here's one of them. So that is that. That's how big the signature would be. And with each of us making one, there will be 4 signatures in the book. Now I did make a couple of cards, which I showed when I did the envelope, but I think I'm going to make a paper clip too. I just cut this cardstock 1 1/4 inches. This is a 2-inch clip, and I'm wondering if that will just fit. Maybe I should go to 1 1/2 inch wide. Yes, I think that's better, and I think it'll show up this stamp. This is one of the stamps from the set from the recollection I've been using. I want to fold this in half so I know where the half mark is. And I have an old Emboss It pad that I've had forever also. I'm just using up a lot of stuff from my stash. When you're embossing with a soft embossing pad, you just need to tap it. Don't push so hard that your knuckles are turning white, because you only need to emboss. I have hairs on there. You only need to get the embossing ink on the design. You don't need it to go down into the recessed parts. And if you push too hard, you're just squishing the ink away from the design, which is not what you want. So, okay, put it straight down, pressure. And I do have some red embossing powder. Here it is. I think I slid a little bit when I put that on. We'll see. And this again was from my old days of selling dots. It was years ago. Okay. And I did push a little heavier on this side than that side, but it's still really cute. I'm going to put this in here, cover that up. It's also good to cover your embossing pad so you're not blowing embossing powder all over it. Oops, I just saw a glue cap. Okay, so all I need to do now, I want this clip to be going this way. So you need to have the solid bar through the bottom here. Oops. Like that. And I'm going to use my E6, not E6000, this is my Scotch glue. Fold it on that line and hold it together. Hold it together, man. How about, it needs a little more red color. Let's try some lipstick distress. And it still needs some more color. Let's see how many hearts would fit on here. 3 hearts. Let's cut off 3 hearts and add those across the top. And I think we're going to call that done. Cute. Of course, I had to get a paper clip in there. So again, there we are. We have that. We have the grid paper with the felt trim vellum. I might move the vellum because it's the exact same size as this and just vary the sizes. There's the watercolor on that one in a tab. The onion skin with the pocket. This is the gold spray with a tab. The envelope with the window. The mulberry paper with a tab. I might not put this in the middle either. I'm not really fond of that in the middle. I want something firm in the middle. And the paper clip, another pocket. There's the seam binding, vellum, another pocket here. Okay, and nothing going on here at the moment. So the other thing I do have is I have some of these cards that were left over from my design team project last year with Auntie Vera. And there's a variety of them, so they won't be the same in every one, but like your awesome sauce, I'm wild about you, etc. I will put some of these in the pockets to give to my friends in the swap. Thank you so much for watching. The next video should be me assembling, making a cover and then assembling the whole junk journal with all the signatures in it that I receive. Thank you for watching.